Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This video goes up on a Monday, so this is Masters of the Universe Masterverse by Mattel Monday. This time I am reviewing the Teela action figure from the Revelation series. This is based on the animated series Revelation from He-Man and Masters of the Universe. I have not seen it yet. I have not heard good things about it, so I'm not going to try to see it, but the action figures, I think, are okay. And this version of Teela is from later on in the story. I think at the beginning of the story she looked like she did in the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon series from the 1980s. So here is the front of the package. It's a nice window package where we can see the action figure and the accessories. So we can inspect it and make sure it looks good enough for us to buy. And here is the top of the box. Looks nice. Here's the bottom of the box with some manufacturing information. This one is actually made in Vietnam. Here's the side of the box with the name. The other side of the box with a picture of Teela. And here's the back with a picture of Teela and a mini biography where she's upset about not knowing the truth about Prince Adam and being He-Man and thinks everybody was lying. So I'm not impressed by that, so that's why I don't think I'll bother watching the Revelation story. Here's a cross-sell showing us the other action figures available at the time. So I like how it's divided with the good guys on one side and the bad guys on the other side. So I will open this up and review the action figure itself in just a moment. Here is the Teela action figure and accessories it comes with. It comes with another pair of hands. Here they are. Looks like a right gripping hand and a left open hand. These have hinges on them, but short pegs. So Mattel uses short pegs for the hands of their figures. So they look like they're nicely sculpted, but no extra painting detail on them. And here is a weapon in its closed form. So a little bit of sculpting and painting detail on it. So this is when the weapon is folded up or closed. And it looks like one form of the weapon, kind of a sword, or just a really big machete. So the handle looks pretty much the same as the closed one. So that just means it's open, so it's nicely sculpted and painted. Looks nice. And kind of a spear weapon. The same thing, here's the handle part. And it opens up to something like this. So nicely sculpted. Seems to be a bit pliable here. And we don't want to bend it too much, but it'll work. Let's see the sword. It's also a little bit pliable. And here is the Teela action figure. So let's see how tall this action figure is. And this is about 6.5 inches tall, or about 16.5 centimeters tall. So a bit shorter than the others, but this is a female character, so it should be shorter than the male characters. And let's take a look at the action figure. So here's the hair, interesting hairstyle. So looks like one side is shaved off. I think there's some sort of meaning in the real world about women having part of their heads shaved. I don't know very much about it. I don't really care to, so I think I'll just say that Teela, as a fighter, was in a battle and an enemy was blasting her or swinging a sword at her and just barely missed her head and shaved off the side of her hair there. So that explains it. Otherwise, I'm just not interested in the connection to the real world. I don't really care. It's for entertainment, cartoons and action figures. But the rest of this looks like it's nicely sculpted and some nice details. So this part, I think, is a pliable plastic that is added on top of the action figure because it feels like it's kind of hollow back here. So I can push in there and it feels kind of hollow inside, so some pliable plastic covering the body here. A little extra painting detail. And the same thing with the skirt, it's kind of a pliable plastic. There's a handle or a holster for the weapon. We'll try that later. But it does have some nice sculpted details on it and some painting. So they painted a lot of little details here, so I like that. Here's a little bag, and looks like no skirt piece here. I think they left that open for articulation. And here's a little cut in the skirt to give room for articulation, so I appreciate that. Some more sculpted details here and some painting. And they did some sculpted work on the boots to make it look like it's some sort of leather boots or something. A little bit of painting here and there. So lots of nice little details. And let's see, does that holster hold the weapon? The closed weapon. That'll fit in there. Yep, that'll fit in there. So we can push it in and then pull it out. So that works. It might rub some paint off over time. So we'll have to see if that happens. Let's take a look at the articulation. So we cannot really look up. It's as high up as we can look. We can look down a bit more. Turn side to side. I think some of this hair gets in the way, and just a tiny bit of head tilting. And then the shoulder joints go out. There we go. Go out. So this whole top part here is kind of rubbery piece added. So I was able to get this arm up higher earlier. There we go. Goes up that high. So these are ratcheted, so let's see if I can get it down again. So takes a bit of work. Seems to be stuck now. I want to be careful about bending it. Let's take a look here. Okay, I was able to get it back down there. The ball joint had just turned on me and I was tugging on it the wrong way, so we want to watch the ball joint in the shoulder to make sure that we push it the right way, otherwise we'll snap the arm off. So we want to be careful about that. So look carefully there. Then we can go around. This seems to be a bit limited. It feels like there's some sort of obstruction, or perhaps this rubbery part is getting in the way of the articulation. So that's too bad. Then we have a bicep cut, so that works. And then we have double jointed elbows. Those are pinless. However, on both sides, only the upper joint is working for me. This lower one doesn't want to bend for me, but we can see the joint is there. So this is the kind of joint that we'd have to use a hair dryer on or hot water on, and I don't really want to do that. I just want to take the action figure out of the package and start bending. So I'm a little disappointed about that. And the wrist will turn. The hinges don't really work very well. The fingers here feel kind of pliable, so they'll bend. Here's a fisted hand. And it moves just a tiny bit. I bet it could move a little more, but I'm not pushing very hard. And then there's a diaphragm cut here, where we can just wiggle a little bit forward and backward. We can go side to side much more. It'll turn up there. We also have a waist cut that turns. So, it seems a bit loose up there. The leg joints, we can do the splits. Very nice. So, the skirt piece is split for us to be able to do this, so that's good. And we can kick forward, just that much, and back just a tiny bit. Kick forward. See, the skirt piece gets out of the way and it's already cut for us, so that's good. And back just a little bit. We have upper thigh cut, so that's working. Double jointed knees. The lower one is a bit stiff. The lower one is stiff, but it will work. Just be gentle. This side is much stiffer. There we go. Very, very stiff, so I want to be very careful with that one. So that'll work. Then there's the boot cut. So that works. A bit tight, but tight is good. Better than too loose. The ankle joints go down. Those are very loose. This one's especially loose. They go up. And we have ankle pivot. So, some of the joints are not working at all. Some of them are a bit too loose. Some of them are very tight. We have to watch the joints carefully so we don't bend them the wrong way. So, the action figure really looks nice, but the problem is the joints. The joints are not working as well as I think they should. So that's a little disappointing. So let's see if we can get Teela to stand here. There we go. Here is Teela next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. And on the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. Here is Teela next to some 6-inch action figures. On the far right is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin White Ranger by Hasbro. Then it's Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic by Hasbro. And on the left is the Fortnite Legendary Series Havoc action figure by Jazzwares. Here is Teela next to a pair of 7-inch action figures. On the right is the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. And on the left is the DC Multiverse Green Lantern Kyle Rayner action figure by McFarlane Toys. So I'm happy to see that Teela is shorter than He-Man, because as a female character, she has been portrayed as shorter than He-Man, and females are generally shorter than males. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for the Teela action figure is not very good. Although for the most part the action figure looks pretty good. They put in some effort in the details, the clothing, and they painted some of the buckles. So that's nice. I like that. I appreciate that. I don't care for the hairstyle, but that's based on the cartoon, the Revelation cartoon, which has a story that I'm pretty sure I'm not interested in. The biggest problem with the action figure are the actual joints. The ankle joints, I think, are too loose. They move way too easily and don't support the weight of the action figure, so sometimes it's hard to get it standing. The other problem is the lower joint of the double jointed elbows. It does not bend at all. Even though it's clearly there, it should bend, and I don't feel like I should have to get a hairdryer or hot water to make sure that it bends. I'll probably try that some other time just to see if it does work, but I'm disappointed with it right out of the package. So anyway, thank you for watching my review. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.